Welcome back to the Broad Street Benchwarmers podcast. My name is Adam Den, Ethan Leviditis, and Michael Pormelos, directly to my left for our first ever live podcast. This is something else, boys.
Says this is real.
Yeah, this is legit now.
And the last one for a while.
Yeah, is it?
In person.
Oh,
person,
yeah, in person, yeah. That is true. So, make it the first one and the last one for a while, but
Yeah.
we're gonna enjoy it. So,
It's gonna be great.
about a week ago, we recorded a giant podcast about the entirety of the AFC and gave our rankings for each division and talked about every single team. And that podcast took a really long time.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're here and you got through the first one, we appreciate you. But now we go on to the NFC in a division which, while maybe the overall top-heavy talent of the AFC isn't there, it's gonna be interesting to see the amount of contenders for the bottom level spots that come out of this, and so we have an exciting division on our hands for sure.
All right, should we move on to the NFC North?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh boy, Adam's gonna hate this.
What am I gonna hate?
I mean, we're still going this way, so I don't
Okay.
even know why.
Yeah. All right. Am I starting?
Yep.
All right. So I have the Detroit Lions winning the division at 9-8.
Jesus Christ.
I have the Green Bay Packers in second at 8-9.
Jesus.
I have the Minnesota Vikings in third at 8-9, and I have the Chicago Bears at 7-10.
Okay. I'm pretty close. I don't know how this specifically worked out, but Green Bay got the tiebreaker over the Lions. I have them both going 9-8, so I have Green Bay at the 4, and I think Detroit at the 7. I have Vikings 8-9 and Chicago at 6-11.
So I have the Bears, the Lions winning the division at 10-7, and I think every other team in the division goes 8-9. And I don't know how in some tiebreaker land the Vikings win the tiebreaker with the other 4 teams in the division that in the conference that went 8-9, they get the 7th seed for the tie, and they make the playoffs.
Where
I
we
think it's
starting?
very possible.
Yeah, I think it's division.
Might as well.
record.
You want to just start with the most controversial out of all of them?
Who's the most controversial?
Chicago.
Why is Chicago controversial?
Their
'Cause he
quarterback.
I have them winning 7, and you have them winning
I'm just
8.
talking about in general. Like
Oh.
some
They're
people think, I've seen reports where some people think this team's going to win 11 games. I think
Who?
You,
I haven't seen that.
the ESPN.
Oh my
ESPN
God.
media, dude.
That's nuts. Okay.
If you're a quarterback that can run, your team automatically becomes the best in the.
I don't think this any indictment on the Chicago Bears about Justin Fields in any way.
Really?
I don't. I really
think
don't.
it is.
I
I
think
think Justin
it's-
Fields still has a question mark.
I think he's a question mark, but I am more concerned with both lines of the football. That's where I'm more
Yeah,
concerned.
I'm not as concerned as with the O line as I have been recently. I think the D line sucks.
Yeah, it does.
That's rough.
It does.
But I think the O line has continued to get
Yeah.
better as he's. But I mean, I think drafting Darnell Wright was a pretty solid move.
I think
Nate
so.
Davis is a competent average guard.
Yeah.
Tevin Jenkins
Oh, and
exists.
was he
Jeez.
good last year? I don't think he was.
He wasn't, but
he was
still
okay,
got
and
better.
they got a Braxton Jones. He was good. He was a
Yeah.
late round pick. He'll
From
be
Ohio
there.
State, right?
Southern Utah.
Southern
He's
Utah.
going to be a left
No,
tackle.
I'm thinking
pretty
of
sure.
DeWan
He
James.
is.
Yeah, DeWan Jones in Cleveland, and
Yeah.
Cody Whitehair's been around forever. He'll continue to be competent. And
Yeah.
I really want to love the Bears, but they're a ways away.
From the Ohio State.
Because when I see DJ Moore and Justin Fields
Khalil Herbert's gonna be really good.
and Khalil Herbert and Roshan Johnson, that'll be great. And Cole Kmet and Darnell Mooney and the ghost of Chase Claypool. And I mean, like, it's like young and fun, but it's also
It's not there yet.
yeah.
Well-
Justin Fields still has a ways to go as a like true passer, He's obviously has elite legs. He's like probably a top 2 running quarterback. I mean, that's kind of just how it is. Like it's.
You're not better than Lamar.
Yeah.
No, he's the best of all time. That's rushing.
But
Maybe.
like they spent a little bit. They got Eagles legend T.J. Edwards, Tremaine Edmonds.
Tremaine Edmonds was a great move.
Who's like young and he was like a 20-year-old rookie. I think he's like 26.
Yeah.
Like
I like the secondary. I like Jalen
Yeah.
Johnson.
Jalen Johnson. has
I
I
been
like
like
Jaquan Brisker.
Jaquan
Eddie
Brisker,
Jackson has
yeah.
been consistently good over his career.
But
Tyreek
does it,
Stevenson is whatever.
when you think about all of the secondaries across football,
Yeah,
it's the
it's
same
kind-
question I have about the skill position room. You know, I think about all 32 teams. How does that pop at you? You know what I mean? Like we can
It
talk
doesn't,
about.
but like,
Yeah.
don't look at the Reds.
But I'm talking about in the scheme of
Commanders
11 games.
secondary.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about in the scheme of 11 games. I just don't like.
That's-
I had never heard of that, and I don't even fathom it. Like,
yeah, like
yeah.
6 wins. You have Carolina's pick, so
Yeah.
you'll probably have that'll be like in like the early 20s.
Yeah.
You'll have like a top 11 pick of your own.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's obviously still ways to go. I assume they're gonna go like with the defensive lineman next year, or spend big on one that doesn't get paid by whoever's team, which seems to be a trend.
Yeah. I was really hoping they would get Hargrave, because that would have been
Yeah.
huge.
But we're gonna get
We're
to
gonna get there.
the Niners, but
Yeah, I think one thing I'm excited to see with the Bears, I think is underrated thing, is Khalil Herbert
Yeah.
emerging as the running back one. I mean, as their backup running back last year, had 730 yards.
Yeah.
That near 6 yards of carry, so that's gonna be fun to see.
Yeah. like again, like it's fun, like it's compelling, but it's like
It's fun. It will be really good in 2 years.
But
But
possibly
everything has to pan out,
yeah.
and we just don't.
But like
know.
so far, it has been panning out. So like as long as it just keeps going on the right track, they will be really good.
Yeah. And maybe just like get a new coaching system. But that's it.
Yeah.
So the Packers are in like a weird spot. I have them winning 9 games for the same reason
Which I think is fair.
that I was talking about, like the Bucks, which is
Yeah.
weird. Like everything's there. You just replace Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, and like 9-8 feels weird, but like teams, like the defense is still quite good. The offense is pretty much unchanged. I know Aaron Rodgers is like a big difference, but I think Jordan Love, it's kind of like a Shanahan thing with Bentley for like same sort of tree where I feel like this will be a sort of QB agnostic system
Mm-hmm.
where he'll just be like a game manager. They might want to have him do more things than he should, but I think just keeping him in his lane, letting him throw bombs at Christian Watson and Michigan State legend Aiden Reed.
Romeo Dobbs is pretty solid.
Yeah,
too.
Romeo Dobbs was good last year. Of course, you have AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones. Like
The O line took a massive.
O line is in a weird spot. Like Bakhtiari has had injuries.
He's barely played.
Elton Jenkins.
Who's Zach Tom?
Zach Tom is a rookie from last year from Wake Forest.
And he's listed as their starting right tackle, so that's good.
So like
that's gonna be
it's
interesting.
a question mark. Like I would say they have a relatively high floor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then like
Well,
the defense.
My faith is
no
in that
high
defense.
floor.
Yes.
Yeah, the defense. Kenny Clark's a dog. Jair Alexander is a gank and a dog. They have 2 dogs in Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt,
Yeah.
who they took in the first round last year.
Who
Yeah.
are not paying out.
Like, but that was 1 year.
Who?
We'll see what
which
happens.
One, which one of them hit the athletic trainer yesterday? Not yesterday. Last year got like. I'm pretty sure it was Quay Walker.
It was Quay Walker.
Punched the Panthers like athletic trainer or something.
Yeah, whatever.
Like, on Sunday Night Football.
Let's see. We got Darnell Savage. We got Eagles legend Rasul Douglas.
Jonathan Owens.
It's just young and
Texas
talented.
legend.
It's young
Yeah.
and talented. They were fine last year, but they weren't really able to create turnovers in the way they were the year before when they were, I believe, a top 10 unit.
Yeah.
And so, you look to progressing back to that. And I completely agree with your point about Love. But I think obviously we all saw that Eagles game. We've seen flashes in a way, and so I'm hopeful that, like you said, Shanahan tree. It's the anti-Bucks. It's the anti-Bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with these guys. I think Jordan Love's question mark. You're looking at a guy. What is this? He's going into his 4th year or his 5th year.
Fourth.
You're going into your 4th year. You've only thrown 83 passes. Then it's a question mark.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
Last thing about the Packers, I forgot to mention Rashawn Gary contract year.
Yeah.
He's good. I think it's not a breakout. Like he's still had a good, solid career so far. But I feel like him and my guy Lucas Van Ness are gonna be a very solid edge duo. And with Kenny Clark down the middle, I feel like that'll create a lot more opportunities for them. And linebacking core, you still have Devondre Campbell, who's elite, still sort of in like a who's the guy in New Orleans?
The linebacker.
He's got the arm sleeve. Demario Davis. They're in like the same sort of situation. They just continue to be good. Maybe even get better with age. And Darius Smith's on the Vikings,
Yes.
who we'll get to. But I feel like their edge room.
No,
is
he's on the
fine.
Browns.
Darius Smith's on the Browns.
Oh yeah, he was on the Vikings last year. Then he went to the Browns. But I guess we can go with the Vikings now, just because I said that.
Yeah.
The Vikings.
Regression to the means. That's what we'll talk.
They lost to Darius Smith. That's a massive loss. I think Kirk Cousins is going to continue he's slowly regressing.
Last season was the best season of his career. I honestly thought.
It was, but I still think as he's getting older, he's losing certain skill
Maybe.
sets.
I'm more worried about the regression of the defense's ability to capitalize on turnovers and the offense's ability to keep the ball out of those hands and just how lucky they got. I mean, legitimately, it is so statistically improbable.
Yeah, they
were
took
able
a
to
billion
win.
one-score games. They
Yeah.
won 12 games.
It was an awesome story last year. Now I will say, they pulled off the greatest comeback I've ever seen in any sport.
Yeah.
I agree.
Besides 3 more caps, that was that was awesome to watch. That was not luck. That
But
was just
what team is that?
Colts.
Yeah.
But still, it's still impressive.
I agree. No, I had so much fun watching them, and I agree. It's just let's set back into reality now, and what this team is
8-9.
Yeah, they are in the purgatory of
7
football, but they won't be able to tear it down because they have so much. They have built faith around something that is so improbable,
Which is
just
for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Which not happening.
Yeah.
That's
Secondary.
secondary. That's secondary at that.
Secondary is rough. They brought in Byron
Defensive line
Murphy,
is
which
bad
is one
now
thing.
that they
Byron
lose
Murphy,
Darius Smith.
Is he that good anymore?
Daniel
No,
Hunter,
he's bad.
he
And
got
then
a bag just because he was threatening to ask for a trade.
Their other quarterback, his name is corner. Sorry,
Kelly Witherspoon?
Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Evans.
Who's not good.
Whoa.
And,
Okay. Andrew Booth. Andrew Booth, guys.
very
Who was
promising.
bad.
Harris Smith's gonna keep being competent.
But he's
He's
100
ancient. I
years
know.
old.
And then Eric Hendricks moved over to LA.
Yeah.
So the linebacking room was really
It's just-
bad.
Everything is thinner except receiver, and that's the only
Receiver is
reason I
thinner.
think people are
I know
pointing
it's
to me.
Jordan Addison.
Jordan Addison.
But Jordan hasn't played an NFL game yet.
I would rather even right now I would rather have Addison than 30-year-old Thielen without Thielen.
Well, maybe Addison might not play all year.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen.
I guess.
And you lost that.
Running back room
That
is.
Dalvin
Running back
Cook's
room
gone.
is. I mean, I like Mattinson
I like Ty Chandler.
as a change of pace back.
I like Ty Chandler, second year back at North Carolina. I thought he was also alongside Michael Carter in that North Carolina. Running back room.
It's
They
very.
could win 10 games.
Again,
T.J. Hopkins
they
is
have a relatively high floor. Darrisaw was really good until he got hurt.
Yeah.
It's
Ryan-
just there's
How
a lot
many
of
times can you swing your way?
solid here,
Yeah.
but that
There's also a lot of shit.
it is you have Justin Jefferson, you have
KJ Osborne.
some good guys here,
Yeah.
And then you have the secondary on the floor, below the floor, probably in like the basement.
Yep.
But
Underground.
yeah, 8 and 9, like they cannot tear it down because they have so much money attached to Neil Hunter now, just because they were like scrambling like, oh god, we don't have any good edge rushers to begin with now.
And he's like 30.
Yeah,
something.
and he's getting older, and edge rushers usually don't continue to be good in their second. No, yeah, their second extension. That'll be their third contract. And I mean, Justin Jefferson's probably gonna still have like 1,700 yards and like 15 touchdowns or more.
Yeah, probably more.
But that is not really historically. I guess Cooper Kupp kind of worked out, but that was because he had like a good team around him. But
Yeah.
that's not really a recipe for success in today's NFL. You need a good defense.
Well,
and-
for me, it's the 7th seed.
Yeah, because 8 and 9. Yeah,
Well, yeah.
they're the 8 seed for me. No, yeah, 8 seed. Like,
Packers are the 8 seed for me. Let me
Actually,
ask.
I'm gonna
though.
try to change this.
Let me
Bears
ask.
make the playoffs. Hold up.
Um,
All right, hold on. We're gonna have the Bears beat the Panthers, so now the Bears make the playoffs instead. So Bears go 9 and 8.
I
They're
wish,
the
but it's not
They're
happening.
the 7th seed.
let me ask. Do you think Minnesota is more likely to win less or more than, let's say, 8 games?
More.
I would say if the line's like
The line is 8.
line is 8, I would
Over.
take the over.
Take the over.
But
I'm leaning the under.
like I don't think they'll. I feel like there's no way no way, as they're probably gonna win 5 games as I say that. But I think they don't
You
really
don't see the floor?
they don't have a super high ceiling, but the floor is like the floor realistically is probably around like 7-8 games.
But let me do a hypothetical. Let's
Which we don't
say
This is
Chicago turns out
Breaks
to be
up.
all Mike thinks they are.
9 and 8.
Then they're 9 and 8, and Fields takes a Jalen Hurtsian step, and
I wouldn't be shocked.
the offensive line improves, and DJ Moore makes that offense electric. And
He's the AJ Brown of the situation.
Yep.
Yeah.
and the Packers defense is revitalized, and Jordan Love doesn't have to do too much. And this Lions team that we're gonna get into in a second, Ben Johnson continues the growth of that offense in the second year, and their defense improves.
Awesome offense.
Are you gonna tell me that
The
the Vikings can't win 6 games if all of that,
Yeah, I'm still gonna
throws
tell-
together?
I'm still gonna.
Well, the
tell
thing
you.
is that's not happening. So
Yeah, then none of that's.
yeah, I feel like Bears are a year away. So
Maybe.
Hey,
Yeah,
the Eagles were a year away and went 9 and 8, made the playoffs.
yeah, well that was a miracle.
That's
They got
right.
trashed by Tampa, but I'm just saying it happened.
Yeah.
Detroit.
Detroit. We like Detroit. I want to be higher on Detroit. I have them winning 9 games, making the 7th seed, but
I'm
They're-
on Detroit.
I would love to be higher on
I've
Detroit.
OD'd on the Kool-Aid.
I was in love with Detroit, as we all were in the offseason.
They're like they score so
Yep.
many points.
Yep. And then, while researching for this video, I took a look at the depth chart. And I texted you
it's
guys.
a little silly.
And I'm sorry, if Amon-Ra St. Brown gets hurt within the first 6 weeks of the season,
Including Jameson Williams being
Yeah.
suspended for gambling.
Like, Jared Goff's number 1 option is Jahmyr Gibbs coming out of the
It's
backfield.
Marvin Jones.
It's
It's fine.
it can't be Marvin Jones, man.
yeah. If you're winning,
It's
if
just-
you're competing for a playoff spot, no way.
Khalif Raymond, Sam Laporta. I love Sam Laporta. I'm
Are
on the
we-
Sam Laporta train.
But like, this isn't this is like we're not suspecting injuries here. We're looking at the team at
Yes,
hand.
yes.
And that's
and
what
that's
I'm
why I
looking
think Amon-Ra St. Brown is the most underrated receiver in
Look,
football.
I looked at.
I do.
When
I think he's a
when I
one.
went through and did these predictions, I looked at I'm looking at the Lions team with
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown at wide receiver.
Yes.
Not the team without Amon-Ra.
But how much
if he doesn't-
dependency can you put on one weapon?
Well, that's why you have David Montgomery.
That's why you
and
have
Jahmyr
David
Gibbs.
Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, the resurgence of Jameson Williams when he comes back. You guys like Marvin Jones, and you have there's decent receivers would trickle around in that room. I mean, Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond are fine.
It just
They're
I
fine third
loved
options.
what they did last year. I think Ben Johnson is a genius for what they did last year. How hard is it gonna be to replicate that success again?
Not that
That's my
hard in a
question.
division that hit bad regression.
The division did?
The division.
Yes,
I think the division's similar,
Yeah,
to be
it's
honest.
pretty
Well,
much.
I
I
think
think
we've
what we
all-
talked
we've
about
all
with
just-
Minnesota is they are going to be the team
They're just
that
gonna-
they were
Hot
last
time.
year
which is
without getting ridiculously unlucky.
But they've still hit regression. That's
Lucky.
it.
That's
I
I,
still
don't
think
see
Chicago
that,
isn't that good.
but I don't
Like-
see that as regression. I see that as
But they did regress.
Simply-
in a way. That defense did regress. You lost multiple weapons on
Yeah.
defense.
I,
You know what I mean?
I
And
think
then
they're
you're looking
very
at.
similar.
You know,
I think
the
Chicago's
Packers-
better.
The
I think
Packers
Chicago's
don't
a lot
have
better.
that green. The Packers don't have that Aaron Rodgers guy anymore.
Yeah,
That
but
might
we just
make
talked
things
about
worse.
how we think Love is gonna fit like a glove. We have
But I
so
told you I
much.
disagreed. So this is why this is my take.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I get what you're saying, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at this and I'm like, all right, well, I saw results. This isn't what I'm doing with Chicago, where I saw, okay, well, they won 4 games last year. They 2 games last year.
Yeah.
But it looks like it might be okay. This is it. I watched this team win 9 games last
That's
year. I watched this team add guys and get better.
That's fair.
So I'm not going to say, well, okay, well, maybe they'll win 8 games and
Yeah.
they got better. I'm going to say, okay, I think they should win 10, 11 games and make the playoffs and maybe win a playoff game for the first time in 8 centuries.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the first time since.
And I have them
can't
winning
say
9
that.
Probably
games.
it was Barry Sanders.
Yeah, it's.
I don't
yeah.
think Pat Stafford won a playoff game.
No, it was.
Stafford
They
played in
lost
2 playoff
to
games, Seattle.
They lost to
And then, they did win a playoff game, I think.
They beat Dallas.
I think.
Did
I
they
thought,
lose to
wasn't that a divisional game?
Dallas.
I don't know.
I think
but
they played Dallas.
it's the Lions, guys. There's just no reason
Yeah.
to.
The defense has upside.
We have a lot of fun players
The
there.
defense
Yeah.
is great.
Defense.
I think
I'm looking for Hutch to take a step up this season.
Which
thought
I
he was
think
a
it will.
lot better the second half of the season.
Yeah, I think he was great last year.
I think he struggled to start off and he finished very strong.
Yeah, you're still gonna, a rookie, you can get 10 sacks, 55 total tackles.
Yeah,
not bad.
you're good.
Yeah. And the secondary
It's fun.
is.
It's like
I hope Sutton can replicate.
Yeah. what he did.
Yeah.
I like the
It's
safeties. I like Kirby Joseph. And Jason
And
Walker.
certain guy from the Eagles who doesn't want anything to do with the Eagles.
Yes.
He's a very good player.
Yes.
But he's on a 1-year flyer, and I have no idea. I feel like just with that circumstance, with those circumstances, it'll kind of make it weird for him. Like he's probably just there so he can get paid by another team.
Yeah.
So I don't even know why he's there, to be honest.
It's-
Like I'm surprised. I'm still shocked he didn't really have a market at all because he
Yeah.
had such a great year last year. But
when he played.
when he played, he was leading the league in picks, well at least top 3 while he was like sitting on the bench for like half the season.
Just get hit with the Rico. Me Millie. Cause we in the field with them bird like we play for the Eagles. I'm on probation, so let me not talk what's illegal. Switch it up.